My name is Gracie. In my job, before I stayed home with my kids, I was a speech pathologist in the hospitals. And after we started having kids and they started getting to kind of school age, my husband and I looked around at options, and we felt like we were called to homeschool them. And so that's what I do now. I homeschool our three boys, almost 9, almost 7, and 4.5. We're just wrapping up our 5th year homeschooling. We love it. I don't see us stopping anytime soon. As I have grown in my own faith, I've kind of come to realize that the foundation that they have for their faith is really the most important thing that I can give them in these formative years, and I just don't feel like there is a better way to give them that foundation than for them to be at home with us and be able to teach them that and allow them to be able to encounter different things that come up in life and be able to understand it from a biblical worldview. And so to be able to spend time studying these Old Testament foundations, I feel like now when I read the Bible and they talk about where they are, I can almost imagine where it is. And so my kids are learning that, and I'm learning that, and it's just, I think when we read the Bible that it just means more to us because we can actually imagine what it was like. You know, when we're sitting in service, stuff jumps out at my kids and they're like, oh, Mount Ebal, we know where that is, or, you know, whatever it is that we've been learning about or we have learned about. They just kind of like have these little, you know, pegs, like these dates and locations and people and even the maps in the back of their Bible. My oldest has turned to the map and been like, Mom, look, you know, and he's like, I know this stuff, so it's kind of cool. We're memorizing a lot of information. It's information that's not dumbed down or made childlike. It's just information that'll translate all the way through adulthood, and we love the songs. I mean, that's just a huge thing. I mean, memorizing lots of information to songs is so useful. And yeah, sometimes you got to sing the song in your head to get to the information, but eventually you don't. And then I love the maps. I love using the maps. I just feel like if you can look at the map and visualize it and remember the information, then you can just, you know, take it and use it when you're studying in the future. So that's probably my favorite part. Would be the maps and the songs, and then also just how the weeks kind of build on each other. So you take this map and you're just memorizing some broad information, and then it gets more and more specific. Parents who are trying to educate their kids to have a biblical worldview, because you're just kind of building the foundations for so much to be built on top of it, and really understand the Bible more when they read it, you know, from when they're children to when they're adults. It's easy to implement in the home. It doesn't take a lot of time. It's easy to scale for various ages. I mean, you know, my 4-year-old is mainly getting the songs, and he's kind of pointing to some of the geography. My middle and my oldest, they really are kind of able to use the maps, but then my oldest is really taking it and putting it in the Bible. So I think for multiple ages, it's not hard to take it with you. You can listen to the songs in the car. I have printed the maps and laminated them, and we can take those with us, and it's just really easy to use. Probably the part that I think is the most important that we're getting from Gospel for Children is just this foundation for understanding the Bible, you know, on a deeper level. And it takes a lifetime to know the Bible like that. And so the fact that I'm able to give my children this information now when it's easy to memorize, they're going to take that with them the rest of their life. And then when they're my age, instead of going and looking and trying to figure out where all this stuff is and what it was like, and they're going to already know that stuff. And so I think when they're adults, they're just going to have a deeper understanding of God's Word.